hi everyone, Happy New Year. It's so great to be back with a normal podcast episode today. Thank you so much to everyone who watched my Everything I Knit in 2025 episodes. And if you saw my sock episode, thank you so much. I know that's not for everyone, so if I haven't seen you since Vlogmas or even before Vlogmas, it's so good to see you. I'm so thankful that you are here. Happy New Year. I hope you had a good holiday, a good Christmas celebration, and I'm ready to get back to normal programming here over on my North Knit Corner. I love the holidays. I love Christmas. But it's always good to come back to the normal days. Everyday life is always good, I think. So even though I love the special occasions and the festivities, it's nice to be back in the normal swing of things. Yeah. So I hope you feel the same. And I hope that you're well, healthy, that you have something fun on your needles, and that you have a fun project with you today and are ready to talk a little bit about what I have been knitting since the last time I talked to you and what's on my needles now. So I have timestamps on my episode as I always do, and I have information about the things I talk about in the description box below this episode. Before we start to look at the FOs, I just want to tell you what I am wearing today, and I'm sure you already have seen what it is, but it is a Ranunculus by Midori Hirose. I love this pattern, as many do. I've knitted several, but I think this is my first one, if I'm not remembering wrong. And it's Ranunculus knitted in thin sock yarn from a Norwegian hand dyer called Gunn-Iren in the colorway Ola, together with Sandnes thin silk mohair in the color 6042 dark sky blue. I think the name is, yeah. I knitted this at the end of 2022. So I have had it for a while and I use it a lot. I really, really love this sweater. I think it's great and love the pattern. So if you don't have a Ranunculus in your life yet, I highly recommend the pattern. But many of you already have knitted this several times, I'm sure. Okay, let's start to look at what I have finished since my last episode. The first one came in from the sidelines because I saw that Anniina Juuti needed test knitters for a hat. And I really liked the look of that hat, so I asked if I could join the test knit, and I could. So I was really happy about that. So I found some yarn in my stash that was left over from other projects. And it's the Lumi hat. It's not out yet, but I think it's coming very soon. So during January, I think it will be out. And I knitted this in Sandnes Smart in 2650 beige melange and Drops Kid Silk in the color 44 Moonshine. Here's the hat. It's such a great hat, I think. And I knitted the adult small size on needles 4.5, US 7. I think maybe recommended needle is 5mm. I can't remember on the top of my head right now, but yeah, I needed 4.5 to get gauge. And I really love how this is looking. I think it's so great that it's that it goes the lines like match, so it's not with the lines in between like that, but that they go even. So this is how it looks. So you can see you have changed in the middle here to make that happen. And I also really like the look of the decreases. And it's such a soft and good hat. This hat is, yeah, really, really great. I will knit several of these, I think. There are several sizes. I can't remember how many right now, but there are several sizes for the whole family. And I can highly recommend this. Great pattern. So yeah, I'm sure I have more yarn in my stash to knit several of these, which is wonderful. Such a great gift as well. Mine weighs 81 grams. The next two finished projects I have is from the square relay that I am joining. The December square is this. Just have to see if it's the right way. It's not very easy to see the texture. It's supposed to be some trees, I think, with pearl stitches. I don't know if you can see one of the trees here. No, it's not very easy to see, and I don't know if it's the dark yarn or what it is, but I have knitted this in Rauma Finull in the color 3130 green. It weighs 22 grams, and I knit all my squares on 3.5mm needles. This is by Gunn-Iren Simensen. And the next one is Smilehull-lappen, which is translated to dimple holes square. It's, you know, dimples when you smile. By Målfrid Ramsøy. She has a podcast in Norwegian, and I've knitted this in Rauma Finull 451 blue. And it weighs 23 grams. So now I have two more squares for my blanket. I'm starting to get quite the amount of squares. I think it's yeah, over 30 squares I have now. Something else that I yesterday when I wrote my notes, it was not done, but it's done now because I really got a little push to finish them yesterday. So here are my advent socks by Hilde. She is a Norwegian podcaster who made a sock pattern that she had a mystery knit along for in December. She asked me to test knit this, so I test knitted one of the socks before the mystery knit along started. I only knitted the one sock, so the next sock I have knitted now in January, I mean. But here it is, and so sad that the bird is just on a corner here. I just think these are wonderful. So if you saw my sock episode, you saw they were not done, but now they are done. All over color work, always a little challenge to get it not too tight, but it goes on my foot, so that's good. I've knitted this in a lot of scraps that I had of sock yarn. Filcolana Avetta, 100 white, and then 317 red. Sannes Sisu, 7281 green. And then I have used some black Filcolana Avetta for the bird and some silver grey sock yarn that I had just a little scrap of. You duplicate stitch on the bird which I am not the best at, but I did as good as I could. I think you can see that it's a little bird. And also on the Christmas bubbles. What do you call these ornaments? Christmas bubble? Not sure. But you have a little string here for them. That is also duplicate stitched. Yeah, I think they look very cute. And I'm going to put them in my Christmas sock box and save them for next year. I knitted on 2.5 and 3 millimeter needles for these, and it's pair number 31 for 2025 because I count them as a 2025 project. So there's a lot of ends in here that needs to be cut, but other than that they are almost done. After 4th heel, I realized when I knitted my second sock that I have done this wrong, or the heel is correctly knit, but it's placed in the wrong place. You're supposed to put it after the heart, so down here the heel should have been. But because I probably didn't read it, it said before the chart for the end of the heart, it said that you had to remember to put in a scrap yarn for the heel after you finish the chart. It says very clearly, but I messed that up and I put it in before the chart was finished. So I did that on the second one as well, but I think that didn't have anything to do with the pattern. It was all on me. Yeah, I guess everyone else understood it that knitted these socks, but when I read it for the second sock, I immediately understood. So it's just, I don't know. Maybe I was tired. I don't know, but it's not a problem for me anyway. Samuel came to me one day and asked if I could knit him a snake. He had found a free pattern on Ravelry. And I said, of course. How can I say no? So I knitted him a snake. The pattern was super simply Stripy Snake by Iris Michelle. And it's a very easy pattern to follow. You start here with the end. And I have used a lot of scraps. I think I said it before, but I got a very big bag filled with scraps that was a lot of alpaca silk and a little bit of baby merino and those kind of yarns. And I told him to pick the colors he wanted, and I knitted a snake. The snake in the pattern is about 1 meter long, but of course that's too short, so he asked for a 3 meter long snake. And he even asked me later on if I could make it even longer, but I said 3 meter is long enough because it's just a small circumference around and around and around, so it takes a little bit of time. And I knit on 4 millimeter needles, US 6. Yeah. So I held 2 strands of yarn double for the most part. Some of them are DK weight, but some of them mostly fingering. So I held them together. So you start here and then you decrease. And since he wanted a bigger snake, did I say decrease? I meant increase, of course. And I increased more than the pattern said. So here's the snake. Now the dog doesn't want to be here anymore. Do you want to go? No. So here it is, and I filled it as I knitted, so you can see the start is very thin and then it gets thicker and thicker. But a real snake is also, seriously, just a minute, sorry, he's got his toy outside here now, so I hope you don't hear it, but in here it is not possible to have him play with that when I talk to you guys. But the snake, where was I? Yes, a snake is, a real snake is also different in size, so that's okay. He didn't care, my son didn't care. And then, of course, since I had increased more stitches than was in the pattern, I had some trouble when I was going to knit the head. So the first head I knitted, I should have taken a picture, but I did not. Looked very funny. But then I tried to calculate how to knit the head with the stitches I had and make it similar as in the pattern, but with my stitch count, and I think I managed to do it okay. I see that he has done something with the filling here for the mouth, but yeah, here's the head. So I think more filling has come into his mouth, so it looks a bit strange, but yeah. So a 3-meter long snake. I don't know how much yarn I used or what it weighed and everything, because I used scraps that I haven't put into my stash. So I'm not counting this as yarn out or in. So that is Samuel's snake, and he's really happy with it, and he has it in his bed and he wears it around as a scarf. He has it around like this. So he's happy with it. And even though it wasn't the most fun knit, it's always fun when you see that the recipient is happy with the make. So that's the snake. I have a few new cast-ons which I'm excited about. In the space between Christmas and New Year's, I cast on, I know many have a Christmas Eve cast on, but I had a Christmas Day cast on. And it's the Northern Augustins number 2 by Anne-Sophie Velling. It's a pattern that was gifted to me by one of you wonderful viewers, so thank you so much. I was gifted these in Christmas 2024, I think. And I bought yarn relatively fast for this, but it's just been in my stash waiting for me to cast it on, and I finally got around to do it at Christmas. So I'm almost done with it, but here it is. And it's knitted bottom up, which is not a favorite, but this is so squishy and warm and cozy. It's so worth it. I'm knitting this in Drops Merino Extra Fine and Drops Dale Tynn Kid Silk. The colors in Drops Extra Merino that's difficult. Drops Merino Extra Fine is 51 double latte and 49 chocolate. In Dale Tynn Kid Silk Erle, it's 40-38 latte and 40-50 brown. You start by knitting the ribbing for the back and forth, and then you put it on hold. You do the same for the ribbing for the front, back and forth, and then you connect them to knit in the round, and you get this nice split. And it's this great checkered pattern, and it's a high neck that you can fold think this is going to be so cozy. So now I'm on the first sleeve, and I'm so excited to finish this. I'm knitting size 3. I'm off gauge, so it's supposed to be 15-20 centimeters of positive ease. So I should have knitted size 2 for me, but I'm knitting size 3, and I'm getting closer to size 2 with my gauge. So I have around 15-60 centimeters of positive ease, and that's great. I think this will fit me nicely. It's going to be such a cozy sweater. So excited for this and happy that it's finally happening. Then during Christmas, or the Christmas space week, I just wanted to cast on another sweater. It's not like I needed to, but I was so excited to get started on a project that I've been thinking about for a while. I have so many Sannes Sunday scraps in different colors I've had for years, and I've collected here and there when I've knitted with Sannes Sunday, and I had several that was one whole ball of yarn, but so many different colors. And then this summer I bought some Rauma Inca, which is an alpaca yarn. So I used that instead of mohair for this project in light purple color. The Rauma Inca is a discontinued yarn, but I bought it at the Rauma mill this summer for a very nice price. Oh, there are so many needles and strands, and oi. I'm knitting the Monday sweater by Petiteknit, and I'm using only scraps, except for the Rauma Inca, which is new. So just for fun, I asked ChatGPT for help. I put in all the amounts and all the different colors that I had of Sannes Sunday, and I asked if it could give me a setup for how I should fade the yarn, and which colors I should fade into what color next, the color order I should use. And so I'm following that. So if this is going totally wrong, I blame ChatGPT. But it was kind of fun to do, because I have some of the colors are only 20 grams, but then I have 50 grams of some, and just to have some help with the yarn management. So this is how far I have come. The Monday sweater is a very nice basic raglan sweater, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. So the Rauma Inca light purple yarn goes through the whole sweater, and then I change colors underway. And since I'm holding one color all the time, you get this very fun effect, I think. So this is very, very fun, and I'm so happy to finally use all of these Sannes Sunday scraps that I have. It feels very nice to use up. Yeah, so I'm not going to tell you all of the different colors because there are so many, but I think maybe, I'm not sure if I have written them into my Ravelry project, but maybe some of them. So this is going to be a very cozy sweater. If I'm going to use it other than at home, I don't know, we'll see. But I love the Monday sweater that I have already knitted. It's so comfy and so easy to put on, easy to wear to everything. So excited for another one. I'm knitting the size small on needles 3.5 and 4 millimeter needles, which is a US 1.5 and 2.5. I'm sorry, I don't know if I said the US sizes for the other projects, but I will try to remember to do so. My next project is, of course, a sock. If you've been here before, you heard about this a million times, but I have this jar full of notes with different sock patterns on there, written on the notes. That's patterns that I have in my library on Ravelry. And just to make it a bit fun and make sure that I knit all the patterns that I have, I pick a note from this jar whenever I want to knit a sock. And I try to have socks on the needles all the time. So last year I knitted 32 pairs of socks, and now I've cast on the first sock in 2025, which is the Color Palette Socks by Lori Moorats. Yeah, something like that. Here's the first one done. It looks a bit weird, but I think it will look better after I wash and block it. So this is also great for scraps. I am knitting this in Filcolana Avetta, 101 white, 354 light truffle, and 254 coral. This is the one, and this is a light pink, also Filcolana Avetta, but I'm not sure what number it is. And then I am using a mini from a sock set that I got from, I'm going to butcher this, but Katjenshen BFL sock. It's from a sock set called Apple Blossom, I think. And this black, I'm not sure, it's a sock yarn, but I'm not sure from which dyer. So this is a lot of fun, and it's so fun to change colors all the time, and then you have this little white, it's the pearls and twisted stitches. I did one row too much here, you can see before the heel, and I didn't see it before I was done with the heel, so I wasn't going back, so I've done that on the second sock as well. It looks a bit funny, but I don't care. So I have cast on the next one. It's only one size. It's a free pattern with one size. Yeah, but I am knitting on 2.25mm needles, US 1. I should have used 2mm needles instead, because they are getting a little bit big, but it's okay. I'm a loose knitter, and it's a heel flap and gusset. My last cast on, which is not a blanket, is because I have a few blanket projects going. It's another test knit that I saw. Michelle Frazzetta, she needed testers for her new beanie, the Bainbridge beanie, and I really love the look of it, and I thought I have to have some yarn in my stash for this, so I applied, and I was so lucky to be accepted for the test knit. So I cast on yesterday. It's a DK weight pattern, so you can use either a thin fingering weight together with a mohair, for example, or a DK weight yarn, as I am using. I'm using a DK sock yarn that I've dyed myself. And it's a broken rib hat pattern. So I'm knitting because it's a brim on this one, I'm knitting the broken rib inside out right now. So this is going to go up like this. I think this will be a great hat. So I'm excited to continue knitting on this. I think it will go by pretty fast. And I already have picked out some other yarn with fingering weight and a mohair to knit another one. Or it might be this, or it might be the Lumi hat. I am debating, because both of them are great. So excited to continue knitting on this. I'm knitting on 3mm needles to get gauge. I am a loose knitter, so I have to really concentrate to tight or knit tightly to get the gauge, because I knitted a gauge swatch which was too loose, but on 3mm needles. But if I have to go down more, it's really I think I have to go down to 2mm needles, and I didn't want to. So I'm really concentrating on knitting tightly, which is not good for my shoulders, but that's what I'm doing. So I can only knit a little bit at a time, but that's okay. It will be very nicely, and now I'm on gauge. That's good. So that's all my new cast-ons, except for a few blankets that I've been knitting on and crocheting on. I am crocheting on a granny stripe blanket. I am knitting on a mitered square blanket, and I am knitting on a chevron blanket for my dog. Yeah. Am I knitting on more? No. But I won't show you today, but I have a little progress on them. But when I have more, I will show it to you. But I've cast on a new blanket, a temperature blanket. I really wanted to knit a temperature blanket, and I've been thinking about that for a while, and I thought 2026 is the year. So I saw a free pattern on Ravelry called Milestone Year Temperature Blanket by Andre Assars, something like that. But what I saw is that this is knitted from the outside in, and that's wrong in my mind. I have to start the month in the middle and then go around and then end with the last day on the outside. So I found a very good tutorial by Petiteknit on YouTube for a square that starts in the middle, and then I have one square for each month that I will knit together at the end. So this is my January square. I have, I can show you, I have made a list over all of the different colors. I'm knitting in Drops Charisma in different colors, and I've divided the temperature. So maybe, like, for example, 0 to 4 degrees, 0 to 4 degrees is 57 olive. And then -3 till -6 is 75 petrol cherries, and so on. And then I write all of the temperatures here. I go for the temperature at 4 o'clock, so in the middle of the day, and I use that for my blanket. So here is how far I have come. So yesterday was -2 degrees Celsius, so that's the olive color. Yeah. So this is going to be a temperature blanket. It's fun to knit on, and so far so good. I've knitted on it every day. So not today, but I will knit on it later today when I find out the temperature for 4 o'clock. Before I say goodbye to you, I just want to take a quick a recap of 2025 and the things I knit, numbers and stuff like that. So Ravelry tells me I knit 117 things last year. One of those projects are something that I did in 2022. I made myself not a make 9, but a make 7. And I had 7 projects, and I made a little collage, and I made a project on Ravelry for it. So one of the projects is that, and I finished the last project in those make 7, and the make 7 was from 2022. I knit that last project last year, so then I could complete it, but it's not, I don't count it because I have another project for that last finished project as well. So 116 finished projects in at least on Ravelry. I know I've knitted small things here and there, that's not counted in, but yeah. So I have knitted 10 hats and 1 headband, 32 socks, 3 mittens, or I have knitted 1 pair of mittens, 1 pair of fingerless gloves, or mittens, I don't know what you say. Gloves is with fingers, I think. Fingerless mittens, and then 1 pair of wrist warmers. I've knitted 10 scarves, shawls, or cowls, 12 sweaters for myself, sweaters being sweaters and cardigans, 5 sweaters for other people. I've knitted 1 slipover and 29 home decor interior things like Christmas ornaments, blankets, dishcloths, stuff like that. I've knitted 2 toys, so 1 stuffy and 1 axe. And I've knitted 2 things for my dog, a dog sweater and a Santa hat. So that's everything I knit last year, quite a lot. So as I said in my Everything I Knit episode, I have a lot of knitting time since I'm not working. I'm staying at home because of my health. And then I have a lot of time to knit. So we have equal time to knit, and that's okay. Yeah. My stash in the beginning of 2025 was 1,562 grams. And I was shocked when I saw how much yarn I have got into my stash during 2025. It's more than I had in my stash from before. It's wild. So it's both yarn that I was gifted and that I bought. So it's 1,933 grams of yarn. It's crazy. It's crazy. But in my defense, I have knitted up 508.6 grams of yarn. So that's more than I had in my stash at the beginning of 2025. So thinking about that, I think it's okay. So I have more yarn in my stash now than I had in the beginning of 2025. But at the same time, I have knitted out all and a little bit more than I started the year with. So now I have 18,586.4 grams of yarn. I think maybe the number is lying a little bit because I may have forgot to write some of the numbers into my book. I'm not sure. And some projects I haven't even written in. Some dishcloths and small things. But so I should maybe do a new count of my stash and count it all. But I don't know. Maybe I should just live in the faith that I have around 19 kilos of yarn in my stash. Yeah. But I think that's okay. I know there will be more yarn coming. I have been lucky to have been gifted some very generous gift cards on my favorite yarn store. But yeah, that's gifts. So yeah. But I'm not going to have a no buy or yeah, that doesn't work for me. So I'm trying to knit for my stash, but if there's something that I want to knit, then I can buy for that. But I will try not to buy yarn that doesn't have a plan, because that's annoying. I think, yeah. I need to have a plan for it. But like this yarn that I bought for my Northern Augustins, I bought it for this project, but it was in my stash for almost a year, so that's how I roll. But that's everything for today, guys. Thank you so much if you stuck around for the whole entire episode. You guys are so valuable to me, and thank you to everyone who's new here. I have had quite a jump in my subscription count. Yeah, a lot of new subscribers to the channel that came with my Everything I Knit episode. So thank you. If you're new, you're so welcome here, and I hope you enjoy it here and get some inspiration here at my channel. I love to talk about my knitting and excited to share things that I will be casting on in 2026. So if you're not already subscribed but you think it's okay to be here with me, please consider subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I can share my joy for knitting with more people, and that's all I want. Share my love for knitting. So thank you again for being here. You mean the world to me, and comes from in here. I really mean it. So thank you for your beautiful comments, your thumbs up. I hope you're well. I hope you have a good start to 2026. I hope this will be a good and peaceful year for all of us, with all the things that are happening in the world. I'm grateful I have my knitting. I have time to find peace and comfort in that, and I hope that you can do the same, and that you have something fun on your needles. And I'll talk to you again very soon, and until then, happy knitting. Bye everyone.